And welcome back, everyone. We are in the middle. Oh, nope, she decided to move. We are in the middle of interacting with the Thunderous Raven tribe and just finished a vision quest of sorts with Ezra in the regards of his brother Paul. And if he can bring him back.
The answer is kind of maybe, but it's going to be a wild ride.
Yeah. Depending on many factors, does he wants to? Does Paul wants to? Does Ezra wants to? We don't know. We will find out, I think.
And will your brother be a rider when you get there?
Yeah, hopefully only one rider, not all four of them.
I mean, we're going to murder the Black Rider, so it's fine. It's going to be very straightforward and simple and easy, and nick his horse while we're at it.
Yeah, maybe he's one of the good guys.
Yeah, well, no.
And maybe we are the good guys too. So, or we are both the bad guys.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh man, if we're setting up for a secret, we're actually the bad guys twist. I mean, I will respect that, but I think
I will keep writing this down.
Why do I should just keep my mouth shut. Right? Like...
No notes. No.
I turned the red storm on the storm just now. That is appropriate.
I do want to kind of flash back a little bit to Kona spending the other downtime activity, I guess, on burning or restoring grit. Replenishing grit would be nice. I'm pretty low. For me, that's going to be praying to the voices of animals, living and dead. And so I think that ties in really well to what just happened with the shaman. Kazundite. And
sorry.
I saw it, even though I didn't hear it. I was like, oh, she's sneezing. So praying to the animal spirits, living and dead, that's probably going to tap into some of the nearby ones, whatever is nearest. So maybe the prey of ravens, or ravens themselves, perhaps. I think they're on her mind when she goes to like do this meditation, which is like a series of physical rites where she's like extending her body and doing like stretches towards the sun and back. And then also, well, if she's doing it at night, I think. So she's doing it towards the moon, wherever the moon's at. And then as she inhales, she's like breathing in the cold night air, and then she breathes out like animal noises or something. It sounds kind of weird, like growling, and like she's scratching at the dirt and things like that. And then that's going to be her, that's kind of what she's trying to do. Yeah.
Do it.
So let's see. My lowest would be prowess. Bonus. No bonus.
You can just hit the indulge vice button.
Oh, there is? Oh. It probably came up as a resist then. Let me see. Yeah, it just says prowess. Okay, so... Oh, there's a thing right in front of that. Okay, so 3. That means I clear 3 grit, which is not the best, but it will do. And, yeah, I don't think she's going to risk overdoing it out here at the Thundered Heart Tribe. And so that happened earlier. So I think then there's like, it's like that was happening, and then it cuts to the scene where the 3 of us are together, right? Like Nero and... Unless there's another downtime activity we need to take care of.
I have one action left, actually.
Oh, okay.
I think what I want to... Sorry, go on.
No, I'll just... Go ahead.
Oh, no, I just want to also try and complete my healing clock. So I think what I'm going to do here is probably I will find the shaman, the chief, and I want to. So it looks like my harm is like from the scorpions, but I think it's like from like I've written Hellfire's heat on this, so I think like it's definitely supernatural, right?
It was not the scorpions. You were the only one who walked away uninjured.
Oh,
This
hey,
was
that's
from
good.
the horse turning into brimstone.
Oh, this is from the horse turning into. Yeah, no, you're right. Yes, indeed. Yeah, so I think I'm going to find the chief and I'm going to kind of ask if I can like meditate with them and like kind of if they could help me kind of take care of the supernatural nature of these burns. Because maybe if it was just physical, I would have been okay with it. But this is really like kind of interfering with my ability to kind of do everything.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. So I will roll my healing. It's 2 dice. Let's see how it goes. That's a 4, which is 2 takes, which is all I needed.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay. So I will reduce my harm to level 1.
I am
Singed by help.
that recovering harm and everything is usually put up to the table. I'm going to say, because this is a mini campaign, I'm going to say that you reduce it all the way.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, that's pretty much my downtime done. I'm kind of interested in speaking to the shaman about the Black Rider, but I think that we can do that after we have this scene, because I think there will be definitely stuff to talk to him about the Black Rider after we have the conversation within the crew.
Mm-hmm. Now, I do have a question. Is anyone else doing any of the other downtime actions?
No, I'm done.
Okay. I am going to say at this point, the meal is probably getting ready to be served. So you guys are there with most of the tribe present. There's dancing. Peace pipe is being passed around. Food, drinks.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's on the spread, though?
Yeah.
Right? Hopefully they eat chili out here.
So
No.
right. There is a hot drink being served in the chill of the evening. You feel the warmth from the braziers that they have. They have like this massive brazier that's kind of like set in the middle of this really big long house. And everyone's just kind of gathered around it. And you feel the heat, the warmth from that, but you also feel like at your back on this one side of the longhouse, they seem to have put you purposefully here in this section as a guest of honor. There are like portholes, kind of a thing, towards the floor and like piping, and you occasionally just hear through it, and warm air comes up. And you'll notice that they've actually taken some of the geothermal or whatever is going on here, and they've kind of worked it into some sort of heating element that helps supplement the heat. You guys are going to be warmer than anyone else, but they are still serving a hot drink. It's kind of like a mulled milk-like drink, like a spiced warm milk.
Nice.
It's definitely alcoholic.
Oh, not so nice.
I've had this drink. I've had this drink before.
If you are not familiar, some indigenous people would, especially those in high deserts and whatnot, would take like camel's milk or something like that and make like a milk wine out of a stomach lining. They would put it in there, and so that is something that they kind of have here.
Yeah, I think Nero will try it to be respectful, but they don't like alcohol very much. So I think you will see like the thing where the kids like kind of drink something and then is like, can't tell the adults around me that this is not my jam. I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. Why is Munroe like this?
I mean,
Monroe's gonna keep drinking,
yeah,
but he's gonna.
I want to know what Monroe's doing.
Yeah. He's gonna look at Nero and be like, kind of nodding his head, but he's gonna keep drinking.
I think it would be fun actually if Nero is totally one of like, F this, I'm drinking. Yeah, I've been through so much in the last 24 hours. I'm drinking.
Yeah. I think like seeing Munroe kind of do it, there's probably like a part of their brain that's like, maybe like, I mean, Munroe seems to like sail through life. And maybe there's something to this alcohol thing, right? Maybe like, because I don't think they saw him like, weeping at the bar, right? Like they only remember him as like, oh, you get drunk and then you hang out and then you go to bed. Is really what happens, right? So I think like having Munroe like right next to them, they're gonna like take another swig and go, yeah, okay, we're gonna, and then like slowly over the course of like maybe 15 or 20 minutes, like we'll finish like the glass and then be like, okay, actually now it's not so bad once you get used to it. Like the burn is actually quite pleasant.
Kona's kind of drank a little bit too, but has also put it down and is like mildly amused that you drank yours.
So Ezra's drinking it by the full. He's just enjoying the community and the warm temperatures, because the Burning Beyond is called the Burning Beyond, but it's very cold. It's freezing cold in there. And so this is part of him enjoying being back in reality, as Nero calls it. So he's just taking it all in full.
Oh.
Drinking quick and asking for more.
Gosh, Kona might pick hers back up then and just kind of like giggle a little bit as she starts to drink more and lets herself get a little bit tipsy. She's like trying to join in and be fun,
At this point, as you guys starting to get a little bit tipsy, a little bit more relaxed, actually, like just relaxing and allowing you guys yourselves the space for enjoyment. Chief Good Hunter, the shaman, stands up and throws some sort of powder or something into the brazier in front of you. It crackles and smokes and sparks. And as like the air kind of clears with that, there are dancers in various costumes, beautiful headdresses and expressions of their nature and their storytelling. And he just kind of leans over and is like, they are about to give you a reenactment of the story of how the ancestors came to settle here. And the drums begin to beat, the music begins to go, and these very rhythmic chanting dance begins to play. There is one dancer with a raven-like carved headdress out of wood, and it seems like the beak is ivory into its caw. The feathers being danced the best way for movement and expression of something that is not human, but almost has human-like expression for the drama. And there's a group of other dancers that are doing acting as if the ancestors, and there's several other people that are acting as if creatures and beasts and things like that as they go traveling through, the dance. And it shows how the raven came to essentially spread his wings and shelter them through storms, or fend off hairy beasts that could have killed them off and stuff, and guided them to this aspect of uh, heaven, or this nurturing abode, essentially the shelter in the storm for where they are currently at. And then the drum beat changes and another story begins to be told through the chanting and everything. But then the shaman goes ahead and kind of gestures for another person to come over and start interpreting for you. So they'll go ahead and start telling the story of what's going on. And the raven dancer stays. And then a few other dancers seem to change out. And there is and this is the fight of the raven and the octopus. And the raven is dancing and doing his things and preening himself in the sunlight. And this other dancer is expressed by a tendrilled snake serpentine like creature. Kona, you will recognize that this looks very, very familiar to what was in this scene with that vision that you had with your brother dying. As this
like the
dance
hand.
goes on, the octopus. And the octopus calls out to the raven, and it's very squirrely and manipulative, and calls upon the beauty of the raven, and is like, "Oh, if only I could fly and be close to the sun, and, uh, can I please see one of your wings, or can I see a feather?" And the raven, being brought in by his pride, goes ahead and extends a wing, and the octopus kind of, oh, that feels so soft, and just kind of holds on to it and continues talking to the raven as they creep closer and closer. Oh, but your feet, your talons, they're so sharp. I bet all prey to you, and so on and so forth. The octopus slowly wrapping its tendrils around the raven until the raven is no longer able to fly. It is grounded and it vanishes, being caught and entwined within the netting and the snare that was set to it by the octopus. And the story is foretold that the raven has kept its people protected by keeping them humble, keeping them to where they do not become prideful. Watch yourself when somebody uses smooth words and smooth talk, because they usually mean you harm. And the story continues, and then another scene comes out, and there's about an hour or so of all of these scenes and dancing.
Yeah. Did it look like they
And it
were worshipping the tentacle thing too?
No.
No. Okay, that was like the demon in the story, basically.
Essentially, they're using it as a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
But they express their heritage and everything and their stories of old through Oracle. So expressing it in this manner and it takes about an hour, like I said. And that is how okay, excuse me. And that is how they go ahead and come to an end. Sorry, I just got an important text message. And the dancing and the storytelling comes to an end about an hour later. The festivities more so being expressed by the rest of the tribe and whatnot further down, but you do have a space to yourselves, a little bit of quiet in the celebration to discuss or talk.
Did you go see the shaman too? And she says that to, I think, both Nero and the other, like all of it, like everyone else, but she's kind of looking at your character, Stefan.
Yeah, Ezra's just nodding. Yes, I did. I thought something at the end. I'm not sure what it was.
Oh, it's kind of like what we're seeing tonight, right? She kind of like nods towards the end, you know, towards one of the, the performers.
Munroe is going to point to the performer performing the octopus, or performers making his mulled milk. See, octopus, 8 limbs, superior intellect. That's why they won.
I think like Nero will just kind of like whack Munroe on the arm and be like, "Don't be rude."
What? It's scientific fact.
Have you even seen one of those octopuses, octopi, octopodes, whatever? Have you ever seen one of those animals before? I bet you've never even heard of them.
Sure, he's from the south. Yes, he has. He grew up around the Gulf.
Oh, you know it all, you. Munroe, I mean.
Crawdads and crawfishes and octopi. Now I'm from here.
Yeah, and I guess like as you start talking about the tentacled creature, I'm giving a look that shows that I haven't seen that thing before, right? And she just kind of goes like, so, and she's like asking for interpretive elements for a moment, but then she gets back to the point with Ezra, and she's like, well, that's not the thing I was talking about, and she starts to clarify. She's like, well, I was talking about the raven. She's like, she has this look in her eyes, like beaming, like of like hope, and like she's just like, the raven was great.
Yeah, I didn't see the octopus when I talked to the shaman. I saw something else. I don't know yet what it was. I think it has something to do with a rider, but I'm not sure. Yeah, the octopus, I don't know. It seems to be a bad thing. It's just not natural, you know. Did you see such a thing before? Is it common where you come from? It was a beast of legend.
That's what it sounds like to me. And she says it kind of like dreamily, like as if someone, like she's picturing something she saw before, but it wasn't real. You know, it was like maybe a dream or something. Yeah, and I don't think it was her. Her experience was not the same as yours. And I think there's like a bit of a flashback to like whatever that dream was. And it was like tentacles like wrapping around her legs, but like pushing her up out of the water or something, you know? And then like her desert eagle deity thing that she's been, her spirit animal, like pulls her out of the water all the way. And there's like this like strange exchange happening in her dream, where she thinks it symbolically means that the tentacle thing might help you or it might hurt you. And so she kind of tells the story, I think. She recants the story to you about that dream. And then she also like kind of tries to tie it in with what she saw tonight. And she's like, I think the shaman here is a good omen, not a bad one. Do you agree?
I saw him colored in white. maybe a good omen or a bad one.
You know what Monroe's going to do is he's going to look at all of you and be like, you all saw the shaman?
Yeah, I mean, just because Monroe spent all of his time reading his book and didn't even learn anything from it, right? Like, I mean, there was nothing in that book that he understood.
Right? It's like, what did you do?
and we all know that he has found this book and thought that we didn't notice. So
yeah, exactly. We just don't care about the book, right? Yeah.
Oh, right. We talk about the book finally, and then he realizes that he never hid a thing from us.
Don't remember writing it. It's just like, we don't care.
Might be kind of fun. Yeah, but I think there's it's tough to read when it's all bright white, like you said. And then it's like, what did you read in your book? What have you been doing? Did you find anything useful, Munroe?
Well, we've said here.
Yeah. That's what I thought. She's just like, and what about you, young one?
I think I will look at Kona and say, I healed, and the shaman was kind enough to help me with that. And I spoke with some people in the tribe, and they were very forthcoming. I think they are. We certainly have built bridges here instead of breaking them. And I think they will then look at Munroe and say, so do you find that drinking copious amounts of alcohol helps you deal with, all the stuff that happens? I'm beginning to consider it.
My dear Nero, it is absolutely essential. He's going to mull milk and stand up and say, right. Oh, great shaman. It's come to my attention that my colleagues have all sought your aid, but they have not so rudely not to ask, what do you need from us? The sheriff of Mudwater and the deputies on this oh so sacred quest. He's gonna kind of like bow a little bit.
So I think there's a reaction too when you said you healed up. I think Kona's just like going to take it as like some kind of another good sign. She's just like, wondrous, you healed so quickly. Perhaps there's something in the water. And she kind of smiles and like takes another sip from the like milk drink that we're having. And I think she wants to make a point to say that I think things are looking up for me as well. I may have found a bit of a clue about my family, and she kind of leaves it like at that, because I think all of you probably have heard her speak before about why she's out here, that she left because of her brother's death, and she suspected things, and the spirits led her here, and also led her to the speaker, right? So I think she kind of like smiles towards Nero to try to like let her know that she feels good about her decision, something like that. It's kind of like one of those exchanges where she's just like, yeah, this is working out, and she's like, but what do they want from us? Seems good, but what? They want something from us, obviously. And so she kind of lets that hang in the air and like wants to discuss it if anyone has any ideas.
Yeah, I think Nero will say, and I think you can definitely see that Nero just kind of trusts them implicitly, for better or worse, right? Like, I don't think, like, they don't think there is something ulterior here.
Oh, right. It's like the first you thought of that is like what they want.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like Nero is just like, these are great people. They're very kind. And when I turned up, they were good to me. So I think they will look at Kona and say, they are the stewards of this land. And they know more about it than any of us do.
Oh.
I don't think that it is anything suspicious that they would treat with us this way. I think they merely wish to help.
Well, she looks dissatisfied and kind of looks to the others.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
I think right about this time, as you guys are all sitting there talking, you hear cawing of a raven, but it's loud. It's natural, yet also mechanical. Kind of like a bugle.
Right.
And as you guys kind of just like look up and around, like kind of like getting your bearings of where this noise is coming from, you see 3 of these giant birds, these ravens, coming and flying overhead. But on them, you see these demonic creatures or something astride their backs. The the eyes of the ravens glowing this ember hellstone color. And you guys like take a second and like they're gone in a flash in the darkness. And then you see another one, and this one swoops in even closer, a little bit closer to the fire, and then a different one lands, and the demon atop of it comes off, takes its head off, and you realize at that point that was a mask. They are simply in dress, and it was a scout. And he comes and he rushes forward and he whispers into the shaman's ear.
Okay, I think this is a moment when Ezra puts his gun away.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Because he drawed it, at his side.
Kona's eyes get big, and she's just kind of like sat up in her chair, and I think she nudges whoever she mentioned her to earlier. It might have been your character, actually. She's like, "It looks like those other things," when we saw them before.
The shaman will go ahead and bark out some orders, and like the festivities pretty much come to a screeching halt. And he kind of turns back to you guys and says, "Sorry, raid is about to come. Would you care to join us in spectating?"
I think Nero's going to leave this up to the rest of them, because even though they're not in charge of punching or shooting things. So,
you mean spectating or helping? Or is this rude to ask?
The hornets have left the nest. Now, let's smoke them out. And with that, he gestures to a much larger, he kind of like gestures to you guys, and the tribe kind of splits off in several different directions. There are several that are going towards the mechanical birds that Kona saw earlier. There are several more doors that open up on the side of the plateau, and you realize that wasn't the only nest of mechanical ravens that were there. And you hear the sound of a locomotive
Oh man.
Oh.
coming from beneath. And you realize there is a train down there in one of the crevices in between the plateaus. And they just start, there's a couple of people that just start unloading a particular pre-made ladder that's kind of like just like permanently there. And there's kind of like a little elevator section that's kind of like flipped over. You're like, oh, that's kind of a neat little box thing. And then they like flip it over the edge of the plateau and you realize, oh crap, that's like one of those elevator things. And they just start loading up these barrels of something onto it, and then they lower it into the canyon below.
So they're train robbers. Got it.
Monroe's gonna smile. Because he's kind of muttered to himself, whenever I ask, the gods seem to have an answer.
So Ezra's smiling too, and he's just saying, or whispering to Nero, "I'm so glad we are on their side."
And I think they will whisper back, "This is why you don't piss them off."
Yes, I know.
And that's where you notice that elevator has already gone down and back up. And you realize several are gesturing to you guys and kind of talking to you in their language of like, come on, hurry up. And you realize that they are loading your horses up onto that elevator.
Aww.
Okay.
Not the horsies.
What?
Okay. I won't let my horse alone, so I'm stepping up and trying to be near it.
Yeah, also stepping up and trying to look down to see what's at the bottom, like a little clearer.
You can't see the bottom.
Oh, goody. Yeah, she's trepidation in her eyes as she moves forward to keep the horse comfort.
You guys all load up onto this elevator. This seemingly nomadic tribe in the middle of a hidden plateau canyon, suddenly coming to life with technology and advancements that Mudwater has never seen, or anyone this far west. The elevator clicking and clacking as it slowly ticks off the gears as it goes lower and lower. The tribe's people around you, they are all in masks. They all wear these long robes, aspects of their masks being painted in bright colors, but in the darkness, it begins to glow as they all begin to chant. Almost in line as with a drumming beat, the caw of the mechanical ravens being done as repercussions, the train horn blaring and bellowing as you guys all begin to get lower and lower. Their masks begin to slowly light up. Aspects and shards of Hellstone embedded into the masks to provide aspects of creatures and beasts, and several of them are appearing like a raven, others appearing like Howlwolf, some appearing as even the tentacle octopus. And they all kind of get this little bit of a glowing aspect to them. Several masks are handed off to each of you. And you see, almost as if this canyon, this elevator kind of drops into this slots of almost canvas, and underneath it is bright, lit up, and there is this train being loaded on this tracks. Evidently, some of the old mine shafts being retrofitted, and a lot more further reaching than most realize. It being safer to run underground than it is to run on top, especially if you have to deal with the mining coalitions or any of the miner unions. This massive train of copper and brass gleaming in shining lights of Hellstone, it being fed discarded shells of Hellstone, as well as you notice several large chunks of it being pressed and fed into its stomach. It's roaring as if almost alive.
I want to check the piece of Hellstone that we got earlier and like just hold it out. And I imagine it's glowing a little bit while this scene is displaying before us.
It seems to almost glow rhythmically along with the rest of it.
Yeah, Kona just looks at it and just like puts it back in her pocket slowly. She kind of
You
grins.
see your horses, several cars down, carriages down, being loaded on. The main carriage, there's several long main carriages that are very unique in their shape. They're almost like shaped like a bullet. Very cylindrical and brass or copper all the way down. Some sort of metal. And there's no windows on this train. And an aspect of it just pops out and slides along as if on a greased track. And the shaman and several of his other peoples kind of lean out and say, "So, care to join us?" And that's where we're going to end today's episode.
Nice.
Great.
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that shot over our shoulder where we all just look at each other. And then
What? Yeah. Yeah, I think we need a week to cope with that. Yeah, great. Awesome.
So, if before we log off for our audience, we will do XP and everything off screen, but we will do payout and whatnot on screen for a session. Could I go ahead and have each of you tell me what does your mask look like that they gave you?
Nice. Oh,
mine's oddly similar to the one to anything that they wore during the performance that the Raven had on. It's kind of got a like Raven-like look, but you could see that it's like a shorter beak. It's not as pointed. So it's sort of, but it's got like dog ears on the sides of it, like something awkward and weird. Yeah.
I think Nero's mask is kind of feline. Probably, I think it looks like a mountain lion. And it's like got its fangs bad, and it looks like quite like aggressive.
I think Ezra's mask is split in half, and we see one half is the Raven, and can't decide on the other half. I think the other half is the octopus. So it's a little bit merged in the middle, like they both intertwined into each other, but on the outer edges you can see them clearly that the one is a raven, and the tentacles are a bit engraved into the mask, and it's glowing.
Minecraft Munroe. It's kind of like abstract, but like kind of lines and slits, but like just sort of like a flat, weird looking mask that kind of looks like Monroe's face, maybe with a little. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Minecraft Monroe's like a cubist painting, sort of, right?
Yeah.
If they were a sculptor.
All right. Going in to payoff and everything. I know today was kind of more of a downtime and whatnot session. Give me just 1 second here for the pages to load. We'll get into the action next week.
Yeah, so down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, what would be cool is if I
Good.
put a shot of that.
Sorry, my PDF is very slowly loading.
If you would, let me know the page when you get it up.
117.
It was already on that for me, which is very good.
All right. So because this was technically a 2-part score, because we kind of ended sort of in the middle of one last week, let me verify. Yes, you guys did earn rep last time, but simply based on your interactions here with the tribe, I'm going to say that you guys still earn rep here.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Especially because you went up in faction tier or faction status with them. With that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So that is 1, 2, 3. That is a 4 rep.
Ooh,
Excellent.
nice.
So I will let. Okay, who is marking that?
I did.
Perfect. Okay, and now we move into coin. I am going to say that you guys are going to have a little bit of pocket change, especially with this little respite with the tribe. I'm going to say it's probably 2. It's not a huge amount.
Okay.
Because you guys earned quite a bit of coin due to the reward for the twins last week. Or sorry, last session.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So should we put this on the Posse sheet or?
Yes. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay. So I marked 2 coin. So we have
Nice.
all 4 slots filled now. 2 with Hellstone and 2 with coin.
Right. Okay. So we should do something with that cash then, because we shouldn't let it just sit around.
Yeah, we could invest in some equipment.
Anti-Black Rider cannon. Yeah. Like I think I have a very one-stop shop. My goal here, and the goal is to get Mad Munroe to be riding the Black Rider's horse. That's it. There's no other.
All right. Then we move on to mutations.
Mm-hmm.
I need Kona and I need Nero to make this roll.
Yeah.
Munroe and Ezra are safe.
Okay. So that's a strange feeling.
Is this? Yeah.
You
is this
had
one?
unprotected. This sounds really weird, but you had unprotected contact with a demon, Nero.
Yeah. No. I don't. I'm not denying it at all. Yeah.
And demon material. And then Kona with holding the Hellstone in her hand, but also looking specifically doing essentially a vision quest with the Hellstone cursed pistol.
I'm down with this. So 2 for me? Or how many dice should I roll?
Page 111. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, it's
And if
up to you which quality we established in the last sessions.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
could
mean,
be
this,
like, damn,
like,
that
for
was
me,
some
this seems.
amplified exposure. You need to roll 4d6. And I would have to be like, shoot. I guess next time I'll have to figure out what I'm doing wrong. Or right.
I'm gonna say Kona. I would say just roll 1 die.
Fair. That's very nice.
Nero, roll 2.
Yeah, makes sense.
I got a 1 to 3, or a 3 specifically.
I got a 4.
Okay, go ahead and mark those on your sheet accordingly, please.
Yeah.
All right, Doom.
Yeah, maybe a question up front. Nero did reduce Doom with this crit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What was your roll again on that?
So it was a 6, and it went up to a crit because of my ability.
So we
that's
can
one.
reduce 4 Doom before we add new Doom to it.
I just removed it.
Okay,
Great.
cool.
Yeah.
Question: with a crit, is it the same rules as Blades in the Dark? Because a crit in Blades technically is 5 ticks.
No, it's 4 ticks for a crit.
Okay.
I wasn't aware that. Yeah. Okay. No, I did it on purpose. It's
Yeah, you definitely did it on purpose. Yeah.
Okay, 3 out of 5. Okay. Posse. So you guys have essentially 4 doing right now.
so we in 5. No,
No, you're at 4
4,
at start,
4,
and
10.
we
Yeah.
have the modifiers here. Say I'm gonna say you're at -2 Doom because of the interactions with the tribe. You guys have been very respectful. You inspired hope, essentially, with the change in faction standing and such. That makes the most sense for me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we are so kind and gentle and generous, and we didn't murder anybody this game, which is really good.
Order.
But actually, we have +2 for active writers.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Ooh.
we stay at 4, and that means I get to roll.
Oh, that makes it kind of tough for a GM to hide that. I mean, it's like, you get to describe that now, riders out there, whenever you want. It's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. Give me 1 second here. Let me grab a die.
Nice bit
Because
of
I'm going to roll
design
this
work, in other
privately.
words, Stefan. I like that.
So we have 2 active riders now, or just 1?
2.
2.
We have
Okay.
2, I think. Yeah.
Here we go. Don't worry. I'll make sure to PM Saint Guard. They'll be the spoiler. What they get? So let's see. Ooh. All right. I'm gonna ask their opinion. Give me 1 second
Nice.
here. Because I know the stream is a few people or a few seconds behind. Do. All right. Asking. We will soon have a response. In which case, you guys will simply have to wait till next week. All right. So here's the thing with the location quality ratings.
Mhm.
I will say that we advanced that for sure for the supernatural
Mhm.
aspect of mud water. I am going to say this ticks up by 2. So I will go ahead and adjust that. So 2/3 filled here for the supernatural quality. So we go up by 2. Rider events are being taken care of. Downtimes, yeah. Brings us to the end of session.
And since I don't remember
Nice.
the supernatural clock, I guess I remember now that you finished it, but I think it was started in the first session. So some of our viewers may have forgotten that one, but this is now your time too to get to start another one. So between now and next session, you can kind of let us know what's on the line for the next location. Because I think I might have time to do something this time, unlike before.
I am considering, based on your guys' interactions with the tribe, and this is what I wanted to bring up, and we'll go ahead and do this on stream because this is part of the conversation that usually happens at a table. I'm ready to be an accomplice. I love you, Sigurd. I'm just now seeing chat. I am thinking of giving you guys a claim. There are a few that honestly kind of fit here. The Oracle.
Oh, interesting.
The Oracle
Yeah.
seems like it would be a good one. And
Mhm.
then also the Dance of the Coyote.
I mean, we did literally see a dance, and we were included in like it felt like a very important moment for the tribe, and like they wouldn't have like let us see that unless they trusted us. So it seems very like thematically appropriate.
Dance of the Raven and Octopus instead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, both are neutral achievements, so we haven't. There's no distinction.
We haven't defiled anything yet.
We're just going to find out that the Black Rider is secretly good, and killing him, is the bad idea, right?
So achievements are dark, not black. So still open.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
There's a description of that one in the text too, so we know what that one kind of does or whatever.
I need to look it up because I will have to use the search function.
Oh, it's not up to us. It's up to you.
Oh.
Right? Or no? Yeah, because you're giving us something, so.
Yeah, it's on page 93.
93? Okay. Give me 1 second.
The tribe achievements.
I bring up the text too, so we can.
Yeah. 93. I can't wait to get the physical copy of this book, Stefan.
Okay.
It's
so much easier than a PDF. No, I'm joking. It's totally fine.
I quite enjoy
So
PDF.
I still have some left. So.
I know. Okay.
Get them while they last, folks. There's not many copies left.
Still some 1 of a million proof copies with original errors in it. So.
Right.
Nice.
I'm gonna say it's the 1 plus die on loot. Makes the most sense because you guys really aren't going versus civilization. That one doesn't make fictional sense to me.
Yeah, cool.
They give us more loot. Cool. Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the dance gives us that. That's cool.
All right.
And so this stuff's kind of relevant too for the end game. I see. That's cool. Maybe that's where we should aim our projects too, is towards getting more of these. So we have a better one, better end game.
Who knows? But I think we're coming up to the point to where we can go ahead and kind of close it out, so everyone can kind of give themselves a plug on where people can find them in the audience and everything. So I will go ahead and start. I am MK, or Mistletoe Kiss. You can find me on the Blades in the Dark Discord server or in the forums, Reddit, but mostly active in the Discord. And we'd love to have you there. We help create games such as this, get to play games together, talk about mechanics, and just play Blades as well as some other fun stuff. So, love to see you. Hopefully, join us.
My Hearthstone is good.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll go next because I chose to talk. Sorry. My name's Ray, and I also hang out in the Blades in the Dark Discord. It's a really cool community. Kudos and +1 to everything that MK said. And if you would like to find my work, you can find it at www.mythopia.us.
And since I was going to go, I'll go ahead next. My name's Mark at SaveMeGbu5. You can find my work at markcleveland.itch.io. And I was Kona.
So I go next. Yeah, Stefan is my name. You can find me on Twitter. I think that's the simplest way, as monkeyEcho. Fistful of Darkness is pinned there, and it's an honor to be on this show with my game. It's I want to plug Hacked in the Dark again because it's just a great resource, especially if you're a hacker of Blades in the Dark. The podcast is great. The actual plays are great. So much inspiration. I'm kind of I really like that. I finished my book before I get to know all these great resources, because I never have had this book finished if I know that there are so many great ideas out there. Thanks.
And I guess I'll finish up. Hi, I'm Tree. You can find me also on Discord on the Blades in the Dark Discord server. I'm Tree #0597. It's absolutely a wonderful place to be, and it's very welcoming to even to people like me who never really kind of tried to hack games or played them necessarily. And I highly recommend it. Thank you for watching.
Thank you so much, everyone. This has been Fistful of Darkness, episode 3. We're looking forward to seeing you next week.
Bye. Have a good one.
Bye.